I'm so excited today because I'm going to show you how to paint with Derwent Inktense pencils on a ceramic tile just like this. I'm using the pencils and just a couple of colours from the Inktense pan, so it's very simple and very quick. I just want to get started, so let's begin. I am using some pencils from the Derwent Inktense 10 and I will let you know what they are as I travel along. Otherwise, you can just have a look at the art materials list. Now, the first thing you need is a tile, and I found these cute little pack of ceramic coasters and I'm going to actually be using these in my lounge room. How exciting is that? Anyway, so I'm just taking it out. So these are unfired, so they're just like a plain bisque ceramic, which is really good because it has a lovely grip, just perfect for the Inktense pencils. Now the first thing I did was create my blue flower there, and if you're drawing along with me you might like to do the same. I just popped the little centre in to give me a guide on where I'm going, and I don't care if they're not exactly the same. I'm just going to make them similar so that they're in a little set. So here we go, I just pop the centres in, makes it nice and easy for me. And oh sorry, that colour was cadmium yellow, 210. Like I said, a lot of these colours are from the 100 tin, so if you haven't got the big tin, don't worry, just use what colours you like. I'm basically just using a dark, medium and light, or just a dark and medium of the colour, the main colour that I've chosen. So with the blue, I'm starting with Peacock Blue 820. Don't you just love the name? So all I'm doing is just drawing straight onto the tile, as you can see, and first of all just basically mapping out my petals as little U shapes, keeping it really simple, so it's loads of fun. This is just a simple project that I wanted to do because I wanted some coasters in our lounge room, and I really wanted to try out the Derwent Inktense pencils to see what they're like on this ceramic. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the feel. Can you hear that little scratching sound? I actually really like that sound. So I'm just doing these little U shapes and then just flicking in, easing off the pressure as I flick in, but nothing fussy at all. So I've got this Peacock Blue and I'm just leaving the edges open and spontaneous. I'm not closing in the petal, because when you're doing flowers, you don't have to dictate the entire petal. In fact, it looks worse if you do, when you're doing a spontaneous little design like I'm doing here. You're better off just to put on a bit of colour and leave plenty of space for the colour to bleed and to work. Now, the thing I discovered about this is that actually they don't bleed very far at all, only a little distance. So you have to work really fast too, and it's actually a good thing that doesn't bleed very far. This is deep violet, this is number 760. I'm putting the deepest, darkest colour right in at the base here, and just like I said, I'm just scribbling it in. So just making that a nice bit of depth, just to give it a bit of contrast. And these colours are gorgeous. I'm really loving the new 100 pencil tin. It's not available in Australia yet, but I've got one because I had to use it for a training session as an ambassador for Derwent when I went down to Brisbane to demonstrate products for the art shed, and that was so much fun. We had a great time with that. So I'm just putting on a bit more, and now I'm going to go into a lighter blue, and this is Malibu. Don't you love that name? 1213. So I'm just pulling out the colour. Oh, by the way, what was the name of the other one? I think I said it was Deep Violet. Yeah. So just a little tiny bit of blue. Now keep in mind that these little lines are going to be left behind, a lot of them, and that is the idea. So some lines left behind and then the rest is just blended and will bleed in. Now we can go ahead and colour that one now. I'm just doing the little centre first, so that's just leaving that a little bit softer than what it is. And now here I go. I'm going into the light a bit first and then coming into the dark and then just flicking out. It doesn't spread very much at all. So, and basically once it's spread, it's laid down. So I'm checking that out and thinking if I like that effect or whether I want to go the other way. I think I'm going to go back the other way like I did the first time. And that's where I grab the purple and then just pull it out from the center. And I like that effect better, because once you pull it, it's done. It literally, it just seeps into the tile. It's very exciting though. It's so good. It's just amazing to try it out. And you know, you can try out Derwent Inktense on so many different products. I've also painted a shoe, and I've painted it on wood, and I've just been exploring even on a canvas bag. The shoe that I painted was a canvas shoe. So there we go. I'll show you the shoe actually, because this is amazing. Look at that. And that's just with Derwent pencils and fabric medium. So just with these pencils, it's just so much fun. Right, I'm leaving that flower for now and I'm moving on to the next one. And with this little one here, I've just used 2 pencils. So my darker color is 700, that's fuchsia. And look, I've got my flower in a different position and I don't really care, because so long as I'm using the same design, you know, same idea, then these little coasters are going to all work together. And I'm just doing 5 petals, so I just want to get these little U's evenly positioned around the picture, and that's kind of like, you know, around the center, and that's kind of like my main goal, is to just flick out from that center. So that is my first color. I'm going in with the deeper color this time. Don't know why, no particular reason. Doesn't really matter. As long as I've got the deeper one and then the medium one on top. I haven't even used a light one. I've only got a medium one. This is Amethyst 735. And that's just for the middle area there. It's just so quick and easy. And I want it to be too, because I don't have that much time. And I really want these little coasters. Oh, and by the way, I'll probably pop a little varnish on top. I'm not sure yet. There we go. And now I'm just going to use my brush. In fact, so I'm just quickly activating them. Not painting everywhere. I do want to make sure that they are all activated if I can, otherwise they will bleed later if they get wet. When we paint on ceramic with these, it isn't actually meant to be for food or edible situations, so it'll probably just be decorative. Okay, now moving on to the next one. Isn't it beautiful? I love the way the colour just comes to life. And so 5 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one is hot red, 410. Love these colours. Just flicking up, leaving the end open. Actually, I wouldn't mind doing that a little bit more, because it just feels as though it's stopped a little bit too short, a bit too sudden and a bit thick. So just press, that's better. Just want to come out a bit more. Okay, done with that one. We're doing the red. Yeah, I just love the ease of this, and how quick is it? I'm just pulling out from the center. Not even being fussy, because why would I? Because it's just going to spread all by itself anyway afterwards. And then I've got my orange, moving it up moving it up the tile a little bit more, so that we've got a bit more colour closing in on the gaps. And you know what else you can do actually? You can do the whole area and then just put all the colour on. I might quickly do that just to show you, just in case you choose to do that too. So now I'm going to pop some leaves on, and with the leaves I'm just doing a little darker outline, a darker centre and a darker base, and then just throwing on a bit of lighter green further up just for a bit of highlight really. It's keeping it very simple. I'll put another one under here. I'm going to go underneath this time. That time I went over the top. And like I said, I'm not aiming for it to be exactly identical, because that wouldn't be fun. I'll be too busy stressing about position, etc. I'm not in the mood for that. This is just a quick little craft fun project in between my other work that I'm doing. And here is a bigger leaf down the bottom, a darker stem, and some darker in the base. Might put a bit more on there. And I'm going to even put in another little leaf down here too, because it just feels like it needs it. So pop that in, put some lighter bit on, lighter there. And where shall I do another one? I might pop one in there this time, just partially. I like all this open-endedness, leaving the ends open. It leaves so much more room for exploration, and I've got a bit of room there for some splooshes afterwards, so that's also a good idea. I'm going to pop in the darker shadow around the base of the centre as well while I'm at it. Oops, I didn't tell you the colours, sorry. So the greens are Sea Breeze 1225 and Apple Green 1400. And that was the same yellow that I used before. The orange that I used was Wild Flame 313. Okay, let's go wet all this now. So it's very quick and easy. I'm going to start in the corner here, and it just it just dries so quick, it's amazing. But it's good because then it retains its shape and its stroke, which I really like. There we go, because I don't want it to just all bleed into a big mush. I want it to stay in its position with that texture, that scribble texture underneath. So my goal is not to remove that, you know, that line work. I want a lot of it to stay, so it looks scribbled on and it gives it that wonderful, fun, quick spontaneity. And in here, pulling it out, pulling that little one out a bit more. And so, yeah, because the surface is so porous, it's just seeping into the tile really, really quickly, but it gives it that wonderful, spontaneous look. And pulling that one out too. It's so much fun. And in the little center, a bit more green here. There. And now I'm going to do my splodges. Now for my splodges, what I've done here is I have actually used some of the Derwent paint pan. So I've used mango and mid ultramarine blue. And what I do with these is I mix them up in the pot first because it's just easier and quicker. So that's been mixed with water. I put the water in and then I just simply get my paintbrush. I'll add some more in just to show you what I actually do. So I wet the pan like that, and then I pick up the colour and then I just pop it in and mix it in. Now the reason why I do this with little jars is because I like to keep my paint. I don't like it to just sit in the palette and then it gets wasted, because once it's dried up, it's dried up. So all I do when I pick up these, and I've got a whole heap of these actually, and what I do is if I'm about to use it, I just pick it up and give it a good shake, because you get that sedimentation on the bottom, and I just give it a good shake. Notice I've got IT pan written on it. That's Inktense pan. That's just so that I know what's in them, because I have, you know, different things in these. So I'm just giving them a good shake to make sure they haven't got that sedimentation on the bottom. And then I'm going to just drop it on. And I'm just dropping these on with my brush because it's just easy to do that. So I can just plonk it on. Actually, I'll do it with my water brush because it seems to drop off that a lot easier. And you can just give it a squeeze with your water too to just plonk it on there, help it to spread. And just let it go. I did not want it there. No. Quick. I should have had that towel more handy. Oh, well, too bad. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's what it's all about. Spontaneous. It can stay. I'll just put some more yellow on top. Just a bit more. I want these blobs to be reasonably big. And plonk, plonk. A little bit more. I'm sort of thinking where I want them, but not being that fussy. Now the good thing is I'm just going to let that dry for a second. I don't have to wait very long, and then it's dried, ready to put the blue on, and it won't bleed. Too bad if you want it to bleed, because it's not going to. So now I'm doing it with the blue. Make sure I wash my brush. And then I'm getting that lovely spontaneity that I was looking for. I want a nice big one here to start closing in this space. And just allowing it to plonk onto my page. Plonk, might have a few little ones. Plonk, plonk. A lot of plonking going on. Just sort of placing them strategically every now and then. And that's it, that's all I need to do. And I'm just having a quick look over to see what else I could do. I just want to fix that center and see if I can by just painting a bit more yellow back on. If I can't, it doesn't really matter. Oh, yes, I can. Isn't that awesome? And I've also got that reddish colour to put back on as well. And just dissolve. That was just to make it a bit darker, a little bit of shadow. There we go. See, it was that quick. So there you go, there's my design finished, and that is how you paint with Derwent Inktense pencils and a pan on a ceramic tile. It was easy, wasn't it? If you want to see more from me, come and join me in the club, Cindy's Drawing Club. See you there.